Hi, it's Dr. Perry Carpenter. Happy New Year. This video is being created on January 13, 2015, and so I'm coming to you today to wish you a Happy New Year and best of success in all your endeavors in 2015. And I'm coming to you today because during this symbolic time of year, it seems that everyone is setting New Year's resolutions and new goals and turning their attention to things that they want to do better, new things that they want to do, to things that they want to accomplish and achieve. And I'm all for that. And if you have New Year's resolutions and things you want to accomplish and achieve, I want you to know that I'm with you 100% of the way. Now, over the course of my career as a chiropractor, during this time of year, I always make it a point, over the past 28 years, to ask my patients specifically about their health goals for the new year. It seems that I become a bit of a health coach during these times of the year. And I always ask my patients, Mrs. Jones, tell me what kind of health goals you have for the new year. And of course, people will tell me various things, such as I want to lose weight, I want to get in better shape, I want to reduce all these medications that I'm taking, and people will tell me their goals and dreams, most of which are generally quite vague. And I want to address a couple issues today regarding health goals in general and goal setting specifically, and I hope that these ideas will help you in your pursuits this year in 2015. Now, specifically, one of the things that people frequently tell me is that they want to either get back to or they want to initiate an exercise program, and I think that's great. And we're all familiar with the phenomenon of starting a new exercise program in January and then petering out of that program very quickly thereafter. In fact, it seems that the health clubs are full of new members the first couple weeks in January, and then by February 1st, or certainly by March 1st, the health club is back down just to the regulars who continue to plug away at the gym. And all of those new recruits have disappeared. Well, there's good reason for that, and I want to share some ideas with you today so that if it's your goal to start or intensify your exercise program for 2015, I want to give you some ideas that will help make your quest successful. And for those of you that don't know, I am a credentialed expert in the fitness training industry. I hold two of the most prestigious credentials in the world, actually. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist and a certified special population specialist with the National Strength and Conditioning Association, which is arguably probably the most prestigious fitness training and credentialing organization in the world. Some people would argue that the American College of Sports Medicine is a prestigious organization as well, but I believe, and it's my opinion, that the National Strength and Conditioning Association is the worldwide leader in fitness training and credentialing for fitness professionals, and I hold two of their three credentials. And in addition to that, many of you know that I personally work out at the gym. I've been working out in health clubs for now 38 years, and I currently work out 4 days per week, and I've maintained that pace of at least 4 days per week, sometimes 5, sometimes 6. Sometimes there were years where I trained twice a day when I was in bodybuilding competitions, twice a day for months, for 5 and 6 days per week. So I've maintained, let's say, at least 4 days a week for 38 years. Well, the number of workouts that signifies is staggering. if you figure that there's 4 workouts per week for 50 weeks per year, that's 200 workouts per year times 38 years. Let's just round that off. I've done probably 20 to 25,000 workouts in the gym. And so I bring that experience to you with these 2 suggestions, 2 simple suggestions that I want to share with you today so that your pursuits can be more successful. The first idea I want to share with you today is what's known as the law of posteriorities. The law of posteriorities. And one reason why many New Year's resolvers are not successful in following through on their exercise plan or any new goal that they set for themselves. We're just using exercise today as a metaphor for goal setting. One reason that many people do not succeed is due to the failure to set what are known as posteriorities. This is the law of posteriorities. Now, we're all familiar with setting new goals and setting new pursuits that we want to accomplish. Those we refer to as setting of priorities, setting new priorities. And setting priorities is great. Setting priorities is fabulous. Setting priorities is necessary in the goal setting and goal accomplishing process. So you're probably setting some new goals for yourself for this year, setting new priorities of things you want to do, be, and have. That's great. Well, what's not intuitive and what they don't tell us is that for every new priority that you set, you need to also set an analogous posteriority. A posteriority. And let me explain what this means. Let's say, for example, your goal for 2015 is to start exercising either again or exercising more. And let's say your plan involves going to the gym 3 to 4 days per week for an hour to an hour and a half for each session. I'm just using this as an example. Well, in the setting of this as a new priority, let's take a look at that time commitment that you're now biting off as a new commitment in the accomplishment of your new priority. 90 minutes times 3 to 4 days per week, let's say 4 days per week, that's 360 minutes. 90 times 4 is 360 new minutes devoted to this exercise program. And let's say the round trip commute to and from your home or to and from your work is only 10 minutes. So that's 90 minutes per workout plus 20 minutes of commute. That's 110 minutes times 4 days per week is 440 minutes. Let's just say that's 7 hours. 7 hours would be 420 minutes. Let's just call it 7 hours. You're now taking a new 7-hour commitment into your already busy day and busy week. As we say, your dance card is already full, correct? You're already a busy person. If you're going to plug in a new 7-hour per week time commitment into your already busy schedule, in order for this to be successful, you need to also pull out of your busy schedule the equivalent time increment, 7 hours. You cannot fit in 7 new hours into your already busy day. And this is where many people fail. They get into the second and third week of their program and they simply realize that I don't have time to do this. And don't we hear that all the time? People say, I don't have time to exercise, and it's true. The reason they don't have time to exercise is because they haven't pulled out a posteriority to match the new priority. If you're going to plug in 6 or 7 hours per week of new activity, you have to pull out of your already busy schedule the same amount of time, because there is no new time. Where's the time going to come from? So this is not intuitive. Nobody tells you this. And this is why many people fail to be able to follow through on their new priority. So here's what I recommend. You take a look at your daily and weekly schedule and look at those areas of your schedule in your life where you're spending time on low value activities. The new time for the high value activity of exercising is going to come from the elimination or the subtraction of time from low value activities. We're looking for those low value activities that are time wasters to provide us with the new time for a high value activity such as engaging in an exercise program. So where are you spending low value time? Perhaps it's watching TV, perhaps it's just wasting time, perhaps it's doing unnecessary chores that really don't need to be done, perhaps it's unnecessarily driving around and shopping. I don't know. I don't know what you do, but I'm telling you that if you want to fit in 7 hours into your already busy day and week, you have to remove 7 hours. Otherwise, you simply cannot succeed at your new priority. So this is counterintuitive, and they don't tell us this. So I'm asking you to take a look at your schedule and pull out the equivalent time so that you can succeed with your new exercise program. And that's all I'll say about the law of posteriorities, because you know your lifestyle better than I do, and only you can solve the riddle of finding out where this new time is going to come from. I can't do that for you, but I hope this idea gives you some direction as to how to do it. Okay? So that's one thing. The second thing I want to share with you today has to do with structuring your exercise program. Now, this is also not intuitive, and nobody tells us this. Sometimes we go to the health club with all these goals and dreams, and we get there and we really don't know what to do or how to go about structuring an exercise program so that it actually provides us the result that we're after. And results could differ. Everybody has a different idea of what they want to get out of their exercise program. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to muscle up. Some people want to shape up. Some people want to add a little tone to their body. Some people want to increase their cardiorespiratory fitness so that they can walk, bike, and hike without feeling like they're going to die. Some people want to increase their strength so that they can get through their daily living and work activities easier. And everyone has a range of goals, a wide range of goals. Well, the structuring of your exercise program to accomplish your end goal, whatever your end goal may be, let's just call it the end goal. Structuring the exercise program in such a way that it brings you to the promised land of your end goal, that falls under the topic of what's known as program design. Program design. Now, program design is much more complex and much more involved than simply working out. They're two totally different things. Many people know how to work out. They know how to do a bench press. They know how to do bicep curls. They know how to use the leg press machine. Simply knowing those exercises and how to do those is not the same as putting those exercises together in a program that helps you accomplish your end objective. The whole deal has to do with program design. Let me give you an example. Let's say a movie star, female movie star, wants to lose 20 pounds for an upcoming film. What she does is she hires someone with a credential like mine, a certified strength and conditioning specialist, and she tells that professional what her end objective is. I want to lose 20 pounds. I need to tone up my arms. I need to be able to lift 50 pounds because there's this scene in the movie, and whatever. And the professional designs the program for the purpose of getting her to the promised land. All sports teams have programs designed for their athletes. All professional athletes have programs designed for the off-season, the preseason, the in-season, the postseason. This is referred to as program design, and it's not intuitive. And what I want to share with you today for your program is a simple concept that you can use and put into play that will ensure your success and will allow you to progressively and systematically improve over short and long terms. And let's just talk about over the course of the next 1 year, since we're at the beginning of the year here in 2015. So I want to share with you an idea known as a linear periodization model. And I believe that this is key for you. This is key. Please adopt this linear periodization model to ensure your success for the coming year. If you've already decided that you're going to begin an exercise program, let's implement and integrate this concept into your program, and this will bring you fabulous results and will prevent you from hitting plateaus that are so discouraging, and will keep you constantly motivated and constantly encouraged to continue with your goal. And really, that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. One thing I've learned from going to the gym for 38 years is that it's really a mind game. It's a mind game about staying excited and staying encouraged. And this idea will definitely help you in that regard. So, I want to share with you an idea, and I hope you can see this. This is an idea that you can use in structuring your exercise program over the next year, and this is known as a linear periodization model. So I hope you can see this. This is a graph here. And let's just simply consider a 90-day period. The next 3 months. Let's talk about your exercise program over the next 3 months. So let's draw in the 3 months. Here's the first 30 days. Here's the next 30 days. And here's the final 30 days. A 3-month period of time. That's a reasonable time period for goal setting, especially for something like an exercise program. Well, over this 90-day period, what I want you to do is I want you to start over here at the beginning of time, the beginning of your program, which is like right now in January, and start with workouts that are extremely small. Small workouts. Very few number of exercises, very few number of sets, very few number of repetitions, and very low loads on your exercises. In other words, small workouts, brief workouts that are light, that are no big deal. You might leave the gym and you might go, wow, I barely did anything. I could do a lot more. And that's where we want to be. So, for example, your first week, which is going to involve 3 to 4 workouts per week, right? This is your first week right here. Your workout volume is going to be very small. Now, on the second week, you can increase your workout volume a little bit, because by now you've accustomed your tissues, you've accustomed your joints, you've accustomed yourself to the strain and the demand of going through these exercises, and you're starting to get the feel for the weights. You're starting to get an idea about the ranges of motion involved with the exercises, and you're getting a little better. And by the second week, you can increase one or two components of your workout plan. You can increase the load a little bit. You can increase the number of sets a little bit. Perhaps you would increase the numbers of exercises that you do a little bit. By a little bit, I mean if over here you were doing one exercise for chest and two exercises for your legs, you might do two exercises for your chest, but still stay at two exercises for your legs. Tiny increment of increase. Tiny. Did I say tiny? The purpose of tiny increments are so that we can get to the promised land here at the 90-day interval by showing gradual linear increase. If you start out here too high, which is what everyone does, they start out way too high and they plateau because you can only increase so much for so long. And also, if you start out too high, you increase your chance and your risk for injury, which is so discouraging, and it causes many people to just simply give up. See, this stuff is not intuitive, and this is why many people fail, because they simply don't know how to structure their program strategically. On the third week, you can increase your workout volume and intensity a little. That's the third week. Now on the fourth week, what I want you to do is I want you to cut back on the workout volume, meaning the amount of time that you're at the gym and the amount of sets and exercises that you do. I want you to cut back the volume, but I want you to maintain the intensity. Meaning, I want you to maintain the loads that you were able to achieve on the third week. That way you maintain your strength that you've been gaining. You don't lose it. But you cut back on the volume so that this gives your tissues a chance to heal. This gives you a chance to build up your enthusiasm again for the next cycle. This gives you a chance to free up a little bit of time. And this is what we refer to here on week 4. This is what we refer to as an unloading week. Now it's important that you maintain the intensity, meaning the loads that you were able to use here, but cut back on the time and the numbers of sets and the numbers of repetitions, for example, and unload your body, but still maintain your strength. This is called an unloading week. And every fourth week, we're going to have an unloading week. Now notice this progression. This is a steady progression, increasing the amount of work that you're doing and the loads that you're using. On the 5th week, what I want you to do is I want you to begin anew at the level that you achieved on your 2nd week here. So simply match that in terms of volume and intensity. On the 6th week, I want you to match what you were able to accomplish here on the 3rd week of the prior month. Now, on the 7th week, you're going to achieve a new high level in terms of the amount of work that you're doing. By amount of work, I'm referring to sets, exercises, and reps. Exercises, sets, and reps. The volume of work that you do at the gym. And also the loads that you use on your exercises. This represents 4 workouts. By now, we're 28 workouts into the program. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 workouts. This is a considerable amount of workouts. Okay? This represents a new high. Let's shade this one in red. This is a new accomplishment here on the 7th week. On the 8th week, I want you to drop back for an unloading week. where you maintain the loads that you were able to accomplish here, but you cut back the volume substantially. This allows your tissues to heal, any sore spots to recover. This allows your enthusiasm to recharge, for you to get excited to start again for the next period. And so that's the 8th week. Then on the 9th week, what I want you to do is I want you to match what you were able to accomplish in the 6th week. On the 10th week, I want you to match what you were able to accomplish on the 7th week. And now, mind you, by now, this is getting difficult. These are high levels of work. These are levels of work that is taking you 2.5 months to build up to. To create the necessary adaptations in your body takes time. Then finally, on the 11th week, you reach a new high where your loads and your work volume is the highest it's been. It's taken all this time to finally build up to a peak. If you were an athlete, we would call this peaking. And you would have your competition perhaps right over here on the 12th week. Say if you were a professional tennis player and you had a major tournament like the US Open, that would be on week number 12, and this would represent the peaking week. Then finally on week 12, I want you to drop back and have another unloading week. Every 4th week is an unloading week where you match the loads that you were able to accomplish here, but you dramatically cut back the volume of exercises, sets, and reps. And this is known as a linear periodization model. Now, what most people typically do is they start out over here way too high, and they can't continue to progress. And so what they do is they plateau and they get discouraged and they say, I'm not making any progress and this is no fun. See, a linear periodization model is fun because you're always reaching new high ground. This is called program design. Okay, so really the sum and substance of these two ideas that I shared with you today, the law of posteriorities and the linear periodization model, came to me because I see these cycles taking place year after year, and that is people set goals such as starting a new exercise program, and only a small percentage of people are able to follow through. And it's partly their fault, and it's partly not their fault, because some of these things are just, they're not intuitive. It's not intuitive that you would have to set posteriorities. It's not intuitive that you should have a carefully crafted program once you get to the gym. This is not intuitive. Nobody tells us these things. And so what happens is people just get there and they really don't know how to do it. They don't know how to structure their return to exercise in a way that's successful. So these are some great ideas that I hope will help you. I want you to know that if you need any suggestions, recommendations, advices, ideas, I'm always available to help you, either by phone, by email, or even by text message. And so I want to conclude today's video by saying that this is Dr. Perry Carpenter. I'm wishing you best of success in all your endeavors in 2015. And if there's anything I can do to help you, you just let me know. Okay, so go get 'em, Tiger, and good luck with it.